I think the more genuine and authentic and honest and transparent you are with your audience, the more you're going to connect with people. Because even if you can like fool some people into thinking, you're an expert at something that you really aren't, you might be able to create a product that you're just filling a need and that you see as a demand in the market, but you're not really that into it. You're just creating something to make money.
Hey, I'd like to encourage you to use clickable chapters in the description to access certain topics what you're interested in. And watch this episode till the very end to learn how you can start earning money in your niche. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Raw Revenue Guide. I am so excited to have all of you here with us today. And I just wanted to kind of go over what the Raw Revenue Guide is. And this is called the Raw Revenue Guide from Passion to Profit. I'm your host, Vegan Knowledge JJ, a vegan educator and coach, and this show was inspired by Zhenya, my collaborator and another raw vegan coach. He came up with the idea after seeing a fellow raw vegan struggling to sell her ebooks while trying to raise money for a critical surgery she needed. This experience set him on a mission to help others in the raw vegan community turn their passion into profit. And together we're bringing you inspiring guests who have successfully transformed their love for the raw vegan lifestyle into thriving businesses. And let's dive in and welcome today's guest, who is Matt Bennett. And I'm so excited to have him here. He is also a vegan, raw vegan coach and educator, and he's also written books in the raw vegan niche or niche, however you say it. I was just saying, I don't know how to say that. But I love all of his books. And what I wanted to do first was we wanted to bring you someone, because I know that becomes a passion in a lot of people, to become an author and to share your experiences with the world. And we want to kind of talk to Matt and see how this kind of unfolded for him, and also give you some of the knowledge from within his mind to see how he was successful in his struggles. And I just want to really welcome you, Matt, and thank you for being part of this project.
Well, thank you, JJ. I'm truly honored to be part of your program here, and hopefully I can share some information that's going to help your viewers out.
Awesome. So let's just start by saying, how did you come into this vegan or raw vegan lifestyle that inspired you, enough eventually? But I know we all didn't come from a raw vegan family. So let's
Right.
hear your journey into it briefly.
Yeah, so I got into this lifestyle basically through just kind of by chance, really. I was, I've always been into health for, the most part. I never really knew exactly how to create the health that I wanted, though. And so that was, just kind of something I would always, try to eat wheat bread instead of white bread. And, I'd get vitamin waters and things like this because I thought that was going to get me to the health that I wanted. But it wasn't until I came across a radio program that was talking about juice fasting. And this was back it was like early 2011. And, for whatever reason, it sparked my interest. And I had actually coincidentally just received a juicer from my brother. And so it was just perfectly timed out there. And so, yeah, I got on the juicing train. I ended up I wanted to do a 3-day juice fast just to start off and kind of get my feet wet with it. But I felt so good at the end of those 3 days that I ended up going an extra 7 days. So I went 10 days in
Wow.
total. And it completely, it transformed my physical health, my emotional health, and my spiritual health. In just those short 10 days, I saw huge transformations. I lost weight. I was sleeping better. The constipation that I dealt with was significantly improved. My skin looked better, and my thoughts were one of the more eye-opening thing. My thoughts really improved, and so some of my self-limiting, self depreciating negative thinking that I had from childhood, it really started to go away, and I started to, I was able to basically take a step back and see some of the thought patterns that I had fallen into,
Mhm.
and I realized I didn't want to have those thought patterns anymore, and so the juicing kind of gave me that, that self-reflection, and it opened up my mind to be able to see these things and to see that there's other options. And so, yeah, that was where I began. And from that point, I decided that I needed to really just research into the power of fruits and vegetables because I grew up thinking I had to have meat and dairy products to be strong and healthy. But I felt the best I had ever felt by just consuming fresh fruit and vegetable juices for 10 days. So yeah, that was where I started off. Started, reading as many books as I could, watching YouTube videos and documentaries and all these different sources of information. And that I just took it from there. And, it's been almost 14 years now. That was back in
Wow.
2011 when I started. So yeah, 14 years almost, and yeah, I'm still loving the lifestyle. It's still giving me all the benefits that I received in the beginning. And so yeah, I'm happy to be able to share this information and help other people discover, the true benefits of fruits and vegetables and eating a whole food plant-based diet and doing it in a healthy and sustainable way that's going to allow them to stick with this lifestyle and get all the health benefits that they're searching for long into their late years. So that's where I'm at.
I love it. I think that really definitely resonates with me when you talk about the clarity and the mental clarity and the thought patterns that can really change when you embark on the raw vegan lifestyle. And I'm so glad that you not only keep this to yourself. Like, what led you to write that? And can you tell me your first book? Was that the children's book that you wrote?
It was, yes, vegan
That's
adventures with
amazing.
barnyard kids, yeah, or barnyard friends.
How did
Um,
that like come up where you took it, a bit further to write the book?
so I first of all, the reason I wrote the book is because once I so about 6 months into, after juicing, 6 months into this journey, I came across the documentary Earthlings, and that completely shook me. It really upset me and made me angry and sad, and I felt betrayed that I had never been told this information about how animals are all sentient beings. They all share the same basic emotions that we have. They just want to be happy and love their families, and they're all experiencing life in their own way just like we do. Whereas I thought farm animals were like these robotic, non-thinking, stupid creatures that were just here for us to eat. And so once I realized that wasn't true, I knew that if I would have known that earlier in my life, I would have stopped contributing to that at that point. And so I felt like it was important to make a book that well, actually, it wasn't, I didn't intend to make it a book at first. At first, I was just going to make these little downloadable PDFs, just like one-page documents, like fun mazes and word finds and things for people to download on my website. Because that's actually been something I've done since I was very young. Me and my friends in like elementary school we would make these big maze books. So it would be like hundreds of mazes in a book, and different like games like that. We always like making those. So I figured, why not make some fun games and puzzles for kids to look at and learn from. But after I started kind of making a bunch of them, um, it just kind of seemed like a good idea to put it into a book.
Hmm.
And so I made the different mazes and things, and then I made stories to go along with them. And so yeah, there's sheep, chicken, pig and cow stories in here for people. Oh, fish as well, fish. So yeah, pretty much all of the uh, usual food animals that
Hmm.
are out there, farm animals, and I just kind of make a nice little fun story for kids to kind of understand that animals are sentient beings and do it in a way that's educational, non-graphic,
Right.
and fun, that parents can be, comfortable giving to their kids at any age. So yeah, and so I just kind of put all these puzzles and stories together. I actually reached out to a few different families that I knew had vegan children, and I got them to give me a little like a survey. So I've got 6 kids in here, 6 vegan kids that
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah, it kind of gives their perspective on what their favorite foods are, why they like to be vegan, that sort of stuff.
Hello,
So yeah,
everyone.
it's fun. Hello.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
In
Hey.
comes our
Nice to see
surprise.
you.
Uh,
Yeah,
Zhenya, thank you
I
so
hope
much.
I'm on time.
We were just talking about Matt's book, which you mentioned that it was his first book, which was the children's book, and going
Yeah,
over what his reasoning was behind that. And he just kind of took us through the idea that he saw earthlings, and it was very, like, eye opening for him. So he put together a really fun, children's book, and it was activities that in a non-graphic way shared with children that animals aren't objects. So I love that idea. And I kind of thought that might have been what inspired you too, because like we all had that eye-opening moment, I think. So I definitely respect the fact that you put it in words. And for who better than the young, generation to help them understand this, because we all kind of came into it with our parents, knowledge of what was food.
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of interesting stuff because when I was doing research on Matt and just realized how that range of different books wide and all that stuff. You did 21-day uh, uh, transformation program. You
Yep.
wrote a book for kids. You have 5 stars. Uh,
Digestion.
yeah, 5 stars digestion, 5 stars salads.
Yep. Yep.
There are so many different books.
Did I freeze up? Oh,
But
okay.
I think it might be his connection. But I appreciate all the love.
Yeah, they are. I love all the different books. And then so that was the first one, the children's book. So and that inspired you to write it. And what was that experience like, putting it into a book? Was that difficult, or did it kind of happen easily for you?
Yeah, it was it was quite the experience actually. So and I did illustrate the entire book myself, so I'm proud of that. I've always been kind of a uh, hobby artist, hobbyist. I did it as a hobby. So yeah, it was very uh up and down with that first publishing process. I actually so this first book I did through I had I think what I one I think I had 1,000 books printed, and I did it through a local printer here in Minnesota, and so whereas my other books I just did um, print on demand through Amazon, which much easier process. But with this one, so I had to work with an editor slash publisher and printer, and actually the first company that I worked with, um, after I had so I was taking pre-orders on the book and I had set a date for publishing it. I sent everything to the woman that I was working with to print the books and to get everything set up for that. And something went wrong on her end completely. She wasn't going to be ready for the pre-launch, so I was like scrambling to find another company to print the books, and I luckily did find one that was even less expensive to print all the books, and then also she was just much easier to work with. So I think it worked out for the best in that, and that's one thing I've taken from not only that experience, but just getting into this lifestyle. The way that things tend to work out when you're in the right frequency, I feel like
Yeah,
has
yeah.
just been so eye-opening. Just the synchronicities and different things that have happened since, bringing more fruits and vegetables into my life, it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
amazing. So yeah, it was quite the process of going back and forth with the publisher slash printer, but it worked out, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. And yeah, so I do ship all of these from home. So when I get an order, I package it, I print the label and ship it out. Whereas any of my other books, it's just done through Amazon. So that would be, for people that are trying to, have the lowest amount of cost and the most efficiency and ease where you don't have to worry about shipping and packaging it.
Yeah.
Amazon KDP is probably the way that I would recommend doing it, but there is benefits to doing it this way too. You get to keep, more of the profit if you're selling your books and shipping them out yourself. Whereas Amazon will take it's like 30 or 40% of what you're selling it for. But
From
the
revenue.
convenient,
Yeah.
yeah, the convenience of it though is probably worth it. So I don't mind um, either way. But yeah,
Excellent, excellent. Do you remember the very first day of sales? Did you have any expectations it's gonna blow up the market and something like that?
I was hoping so. It didn't quite sell as much as I was hoping. I mean, it's still selling, but the kids book had, which is one of my favorite books actually. I wish it would sell more, but I don't think there's as much demand for vegan children's books, at least
Yeah.
not in my experience. My other books sell much more.
Not
But
yet until this goes live, right?
yeah, exactly. Anybody that wants one, it's on my website, which is another problem, could be another reason why it doesn't sell as much because I don't have it on Amazon.
Hmm.
If you get it on Amazon, a lot more eyes are gonna see it. But yeah, so it sells, but I wish it would sell a little more.
Mm-hmm. And how do you develop selling these books? Because I heard that some of them you have directly available on your website, and paper books you have available on Amazon. Just
Mhm.
some kind of division. Can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, so yeah, on Amazon you can get all my paperback books, and like I said, the only paperback book that I personally ship out is the kids book, um, and I keep the ebook versions on my website as well. Just for people that are stopping by my website if they want, because I do have I think actually 21 Day Raw Transformation Program is the only book I have on Kindle. Only because I tried to do the other book and I had so I was working with somebody through Fiverr to help me get it formatted for Kindle, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't work out very well. So I still plan to eventually work with somebody to get it formatted for Kindle for my other books, but 21 Day Raw Transformation Program is the only one that has a working Kindle edition on Amazon. And then, so if people want the ebook, it's just all on my website. And then, yeah, so there's no option to get paperback on my website. I do have a link in my shop to go to Amazon to get it, but
Hmm.
um, I didn't want to have that responsibility of having to package everything and ship it out, because it is a lot, especially
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
have
a
had
good point.
moments, yeah, I have had moments where there was somebody I had a plant-based news article about my book went out, and I sold a lot of books from that. And so it was quite the time consumer to get all those books published or packaged and shipped out, as the orders kept coming in those several days. So but yeah, so I think having multiple ways for people to find your books is a good thing for people that are out there that are wanting to sell books and think products. So having it both on my website and on Amazon just makes it more accessible to people, however they find me.
What do you feel are the benefits? Do you prefer the ebook sales? Is that a bit better profit, or do you prefer selling the paperback, or is it just great to have both?
It's great to have both. I so I actually do prefer that people buy the paperback and it's just because my personal preference is to have a paperback. I like having the physical book in my hand, and
Mhm.
I'm very proud of how my books turned out. I
Yeah.
really like how they turned out. However, if I was looking at it from a financial standpoint, I would want people to buy the ebooks because, especially from my website, where the majority of them are available, because then I get much more of the profit. Whereas on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, I only make just not even that much on my paperback sales for each sale. It's depending on the book, but it's less than $10 per book. So and then if they were get it on my website, the ebook, then I would get minus the fees for my website and the merchant, the cart program.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just make much more profit from the ebooks versus the paperbacks. But like I said, I like when people have it in their hands because I think it's more powerful that way. But
Yeah.
both work.
I would
Yeah,
think
you
that was
feel
so.
those this message physically in your hands. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. It's different than ebook, and that way, if something happens to your computer or whatever, and you don't have it on the cloud or downloaded somewhere, you can't, unless I guess you could lose it. But it's you can't beat having a paperback, I don't think.
And Matt, could you tell us how many subscribers did you have at that moment when you started selling your first ebook? Does does the amount of subscribers matter in the beginning, or we should start wherever we are?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I don't actually remember how many subscribers I had. See, so the first, I mean, my kid's book was in 2017. So
Mm-hmm.
I probably, yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. I probably had like 6 or 7 thousand subscribers on YouTube. But I I don't think it really matters how many subscribers you have. If you if
Mm-hmm.
you if you have something that you want to create and you want to share with people and make it into a product, I don't think that the subscriber count that you have should matter because whether you make it, you should make it now, and that way that can
Yeah.
bring more people in to hear your message and get interested in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and then you'll just have it for the future when you have more
Yeah.
subscribers and more people
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you should. If
It's kind of turns into digital assets what
Yeah,
you can hold
yeah,
forever.
exactly. And I don't think if you have something that you like, if you have a message that you want to put into a product, I think what I've learned is
Mm-hmm.
that you should do it in the moment that you're feeling inspired to
Yeah.
do it because a lot of times, and I've done this many times, I still struggle with it sometimes, is I'll have an idea that I think is really good and that I want to turn into a product or even just into a video, and I put it off and I never get back to it, right? And so that's
Mm-hmm.
why, like with this book, I just did it, even though I didn't know what I was doing. Like it was a really like messy process for me to go through back and forth with the book printer and all that stuff and figure out how to get the book formatted in a way that the printer needed it. And like, it was just really convoluted. So it was quite the experience, but I'm glad I did it. But the thing I learned is that you need to just go through the struggle of learning how to do something, um, and and just take advantage of the inspiration in the moment, because like I said, a lot of times people have a good idea, they want to do something with it, they think they're going to put it off to a time when their things are, more convenient for them. But a lot of times it just never comes back. And so that moment of inspiration, I think, is important, whether it's making a YouTube video, whether it's starting a show or starting a program like you guys are doing here. Something, there's something about using that moment of inspiration that you just
Mm-hmm.
got to ride that momentum and don't put it off because yeah, it's a tragedy how many good ideas go to waste by people not acting.
Mm-hmm.
True. I
Yeah.
heard you say once, Matt, too, this really helped me in my writing, that you were trying to make your I guess maybe this was the second or third book you did, like you were trying to put so much into one book that
Hmm.
you kind of condensed it into shorter projects to get started, because I find I've been doing that since like 2020. I've been writing a book, but then I'll find a different part of my journey and then I'll end up wanting to put that in, so the book just keeps getting longer instead of getting it out, which is the important part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can always go back and revise it if, you want to, but I think getting something, at least getting something created, and even if you don't publish it right away or put it up for sale, at least get it to a point where it's an actual like product, right? Like something you could put out if you wanted to, but as long as you have something created, and you have your ideas down and organized and structured into something that um, makes sense, then that's where you should start, and kind of not worry so much about the final product, how it's going to look like, because it's never going to be perfect. None of my books were, as how exactly how I pictured them. And honestly, like even this first book, like you said, I had it was like it was basically all of these books combined. And I just I didn't know where I was going to like end with it. It was just ongoing. I just kept adding to the document, um, because so kind of just taking a quick step back to like what got me interested in making books
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
so before I got into this lifestyle, I hated reading, I hated studying, I hated like just I was mostly concerned with going to the bars, going to parties, drinking, watching sports. That was kind of that was like what took up my most of my time. And then once I got into this lifestyle and like my just awareness expanded and I could see like all these things that I was doing that really I didn't truly deep down want to be doing. Because as a kid, I was very creative. I always wanted to be like an inventor, and I liked making, different concepts and like acronyms like I put throughout my books to help, people help myself remember things, and also it works out to help other people remember things and learn. So when I got in this lifestyle and I had that awareness expansion, I started to love to read. I started to love to research and just educate myself. And so I kind of paired my passion as a child of creating these fun ways of learning, these, acronyms and concepts and things, and drawing. I love to draw and make art. So I put kind of did that with my kids' book, but I designed the different graphics in my books. So it's like I took that passion and I put it into something that now I had a new passion for. Once I started getting the fruits and vegetables into my body, I had this passion and this strong desire to learn because I felt kind of how I felt betrayed that I didn't know about sentient animals like farm animals. I felt betrayed kind of that I that I was like unaware. I guess I was kind of more betrayed by myself that I was just like so concerned about things that I knew didn't really matter, like drinking and all these things. And so then I got passionate about just education, self-improvement, health, these things. And so yeah, I took that new passion with my old passion of creating things into, fun acronyms and things. And so the I kind of lost my train of thought. Where am I going with this?
And nutrition. I know you know quite a lot about
Oh yeah.
nutrition. I think we all felt misguided about that. So I'm glad you have books about digestion and things. Even in mainstream, there's so many things we're misled about on how to be healthy. So I love the books you've written.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Um, but yeah, when it came to getting all of that into, like I said, I knew I wanted to help other people feel the same kind of benefits that I had felt, and putting it into books. I always wanted to write a book since I started getting into this lifestyle. It's like, wow, like because I learned so much from different books, and I felt like I took all of that information that I got from all these various sources, and I was putting it into a way that worked for me. Um, and I felt like that could be, very beneficial to people, because, I feel like I don't, I'm not dogmatic really about really any one way of doing something, but I have found definitely something that works really well for me, and incorporates all these different viewpoints. So I think putting all of that into an easy to understand format of a book is something that's really cool, and that got me excited. Within the first couple of years that I was kind of getting into this lifestyle and learning. And so, yeah, like we were talking about, I was just adding all these different ideas onto this big document that never seemed to end. And what actually got me to put it into an actual like book that was like not this massive encyclopedia, was accountability of joining the bundles that Lissa Maris and Chris Kendall put on their first bundle that they put on. I decided to join that, and that forced me with accountability to finally focus on, you know, c- creating something that's a little more concise. It's not just massive thing, and putting it into just an easy to understand kind of guide. And so I broke that big document I had down into different pieces and just kind of put it together. And so yeah, that's really where all three of these books came from, was that one big document. And but it wouldn't have been without that accountability that I got from the bundle that got me to really focus on, actually being more intentional about what I wanted it to look like. And so, yeah, when I realized that I wanted it to be something that just like introduced people to the lifestyle, gave them practical, you know, doable steps to implement it, and something that would help them, maintain the lifestyle long term. It's not like something that's really hard to follow. It's pretty easy to do, and yeah. So I don't know if that answered the question exactly, but that's kind of how it all came to
Yeah,
be.
exactly explained why people should pay for your books. Because when you uh, systematize this information for yourself, you already know how to learn effectively, and it's not about 1,000 page book. It's about simplicity and how an average person can follow the same steps
Yeah.
to make a switch. And do you think nowadays we should we should justify why should people pay for our books, especially when so many articles are available in the internet?
Yeah, that's a good point to highlight is, there is there's not as many books out there for raw veganism if that's what you're planning to make a book on. But regardless of what the topic is, um, nobody has made the book in the way that you're going to make it. So you're going to resonate with people that nobody else does in the same way. So even if there is, I just actually heard Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm not sure if you guys listen to him, but he said that there's really no such thing as an oversaturated market, because that's what a lot of people feel like. It's oversaturated. There's so many people doing this exact same thing. Why would I get
Yeah,
into this? So they try to find some niche or niche in a way that's not as popular. But the thing is, what you're putting out there, if you're connecting with people, then it doesn't matter if there's other books or other documents out there that are saying the same thing, because you're going to connect with a certain segment of people, and it doesn't matter. So you need to
yeah.
do what are really good at talking about or sharing, if what you're knowledgeable about. And that's all that you should really focus on. It's not the market. I don't think. I think you should just do what
Wow,
what you're
wow.
good at.
Such a powerful answer, really, because you already covered several topics at the same time, because I wanted to ask you about the starting point of the book, because right now, actually, I'm writing a book on relationships for raw vegans
Hmm.
who are misunderstood by their family, romantic relations in their romantic relationships with friends, etc. So I just thought about the starting point. Where should I start? In one hand, I have some ideas, you know, to write about recipes. On another hand, I have a huge demand. What I see in the community that almost everyone struggles with their relationships. It's kind of what this is one I want to write on, and this is the market. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Yeah. Same thing. Even though and I've heard arguments for, the opposite of what I'm saying, where you should like look at the market and see where the demand is at and create something
Yeah.
for that demand. But I personally, I think that you should do, or somebody should do, what what really lights them up inside, what they're passionate about. Because when you do that and you're genuine and authentic in the way that you present the information, that is going to draw people in. That's like, and I think there's people like Gary Vaynerchuk. There's many people out there that say the same thing that he says, but the way that he says it, it's so genuine, it's so down to earth, it's so, honest that, you can feel that. And there's other people out there saying the same thing that are maybe only saying it because they know that's what people want to hear, but they don't, they're not living it. It's not like a truly authentic message. And I think that is why Gary Vee gets so much attention and so much, impact on the people that hear him. Because even though, he talks about people that don't, a lot of people don't like him at first, whether it's his language or just his approach. But the more you listen to them, the more you can really feel that authenticity. And so I think the first guiding principle that anybody out there that wants to, whether it's be an influencer or be an author or, just a product creator, integrity, I think, should be your first guiding principle, and in both integrity to yourself,
Yeah.
be genuine to what really you're passionate about, and also, just I, I get the fake it till you make it mindset. I've done it a little bit, but at the same time, I think the more genuine and authentic and honest and transparent you are with your audience, the more you're going to connect with people. Because even if you can, like, fool some people into thinking, you're an expert at something that you really aren't, you might be able to create a product that, you're just filling a need and that you see as a demand in the market, but you're
No.
you're not really that into it. You're just creating something to make money. um I think that's short-lived, and I think it won't last long. But if you just follow and be authentic and just put out things that you're passionate about, and if you're passionate about it, it's guaranteed there's going to be a lot of other people passionate about it, right? Like, many of us are so similar, right? That we all have very similar things in just different, unique ways, but in the same umbrella of that passion, you're going to bring those people in to that message. And so if you're authentic and you keep your integrity with, just doing your best to educate yourself, be a true expert in that thing, and then share what you've learned, it's going to help more people, and it's going to, really help you in the long term by, gaining people's trust, providing valuable information, and making it, something that you feel proud of at the end of the day. So that's kind of my approach and kind of my thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
that.
Hey, again, my raw vegan friend, don't miss out on new episodes. Hit subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay updated. Let's get back to the show. When did you start identify yourself as an entrepreneur? Because it's kind of double game, when you need to be a writer, to be a creator, and at the same time you need to develop another uh, another skill to sell something to your audience. Was it so easy, or?
No, not really. I'm actually not. That is something that I need to improve on myself, is the selling aspect. I
Mm-hmm.
love to create, but the selling aspect, is something that I have struggled with. And there could be various reasons for that. Just I do my best to really. I think the best way to actually be a good seller, though, is to believe in what you're selling.
Yeah.
So, and I do believe in what I'm selling. But there's different. I feel like, and I don't want to make excuses for myself, but I don't feel that I'm the most exciting personality out there. So I think people with great, like, very extroverted personalities do really well with selling things. And again, no, not making excuses for myself, but I just don't feel like that has been a strong point for me. But I do think that regardless of your personality, you can work on your communication, which I have tried to do quite a bit, is just work on my communication style, but also just be as educated and knowledgeable in the things that I talk about, so that, I mean, that alone helps you communicate better, is to have a deep understanding of what you're discussing. Um, but yeah, so, um, I think just doing your best to work on your communication, because communication is everything. If you can't communicate, even if you have the best
Especially for
product.
me as a non as a non-English native speaker. Yeah.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
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 Well, I
So,
could say for both of you, I think as fans of both of your work that like the content that you put out, I feel like automatically sells your books because you give such good like value that I don't need someone screaming at me or dancing and singing. And I actually resonate with both of your personalities. So I think there's more people out there like me who feel that genuine, you know, connection with people. They're telling their story. And I feel like that really helps me when I connect with someone. I want their book rather than just Google searching, how can I be a raw vegan? I want to hear what you have to say or what you put together, your experience. So I think, the personality is subjective, what who likes what too. And I know what you're saying. Like some people are just constantly selling, selling, selling every minute. But I also feel like there's a huge number of us that resonate with someone who's just giving their content and then, okay, putting it out there. I have these books. And I think that works really well, especially with all the different people out there and the information out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Good point.
And I also think that sales are affected by a lack of confidence, because when we sell in someone else's products, it's we are not aware of all the details. For example, when we sell our own products, it feels like we know it all. And I don't feel awkward selling my products because I know what it is, and I know how much effort I put into it. And it's kind of fun because you know that your product will help your customers. It's not a scam. It's not something like, oh, you just put away your money and that's it. No, no, no. Uh, I would like to treat every customer as a friend, as an opportunity to know that person, to know his story or her story, and just to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's how we should, all look at, anybody that's going to purchase our products is, yeah, it's a opportunity to create a relationship with somebody. And unfortunately with the Amazon books, I don't know who buys the books. They don't tell you who actually purchases your books. I wish they did, but yeah, if that's why I love when people email me after purchasing the book, or either on Amazon or on my website, and getting to hear their what their takeaways from it, and how it's helped them, and yeah, and then that I've gained a lot of great relationships just from that alone. So it's definitely
Yeah,
it's a great tool for many different things, including building relationships.
Is
yeah,
reviews that also can do that too, right? If they write a review, that's really important to creators. So if anyone has, your books, then definitely a review is definitely helpful to let them, to know that they enjoyed it. I think that's so important that, to get that reassurance, I guess, right?
and
Yeah.
guys, we've been talking about paid products, but I have a feeling we are missing one a very important detail. Should we start our business from free ebooks? Does it make sense, or not exactly?
I think so. I started that way. You know, it's I, just to build your list, your email list. I think it's very helpful to have a free product that people can download. And I think it's important to make that a valuable product. So, it doesn't have to be something extensive. It could even just be a one-page thing. But put value
Yeah,
into that
yeah,
document, and if you can help people, in any way with that one download, it just opens the door to them again, building trust with them, adding value to their life, and giving them an opportunity to, you know, learn more from you. So be interested in learning more from you. So that's, I think it's a great thing to do, to have that free product. And from that, then you can start showing them other things that you have, or, whatever it is, or even just have them on your newsletter. So you can, whether you're trying to sell a product or just have a newsletter, that's something that can help too. But I will say, for what JJ said about the reviews, yes, that is something for authors that is like the best gift that you could ever give them, is a review, like especially on Amazon. But even if it's not on Amazon, but if you can just provide feedback to that viewer or to that author, it's like that's such a big part of why, authors write books. Like, they want to know that it's impacted somebody in a beneficial way. And when you leave a review for somebody on Amazon, especially, you are helping them so much by getting, more attention to that book, because, the more there's reviews, the more it's going to get seen. And the more people that see those good reviews. But, I always ask people to write an honest review. Don't just, write something
Yeah.
that you think I want to hear, but just write an honest review. And that's all that I could ask. So if anybody does have any of my books, if you could please leave a review, that's like the greatest gift that you could give me. So yeah.
So could you tell us how, for example, our viewers can earn money selling your books? Have you heard about affiliate program on Amazon? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm actually not that familiar with. So you're saying somebody could be an affiliate?
Generate the link and put there, for example, uh, in their stories on Instagram, and just get some additional money
Hmm.
from those who clicked that link on Amazon and purchased something. It is not supposed to be that book, but wherever they buy on Amazon using your link.
I see. Okay, yeah. See, some of these things I need to be, I need to be better at learning these things, because
I
I,
actually remember reaching out to you, Matt, and asking after I reviewed the Salad Revolution. I was like, "Can I sell this? Like, I love this book." I
yeah,
remember that, and you weren't didn't. It was very recently.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've had a couple people email me about that as well, and and I need to look into it, but I haven't been able to. But yeah, I mean, that's something I would be interested in doing, because I do feel like, and whether it's through that, um that type of affiliate. But that's another way for people that are wanting to start, make some extra money, whether it's through selling their books, or whatever it is. Being an affiliate for different products is a
Yeah.
great way to start bringing in some extra money for yourself, where you can promote other people's products that you have found value from. And I do that too. So that's part of where I get some extra money, is being an affiliate for other products that I personally enjoy using.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But yeah, I'll have to follow up with you on that, JJ, with the Amazon affiliate link.
Awesome, thank you. I think there's other ones too. Zhenya might be able to know a bit better, but I an affiliate for someone who uses oh, I can't think of the name of it. I might be able to get it to you by the time we have this air, so that's in the description. But there's other platforms that people can put their affiliate links through. That doesn't, it's not necessarily always the Amazon link, but they can actually use different platforms to be an affiliate to you, or you can get the link to connect to their book in different ways, I think, too, if Amazon happens to not be the platform you want to work on.
Hmm.
I feel like people love Amazon that I talk to, and then there are other people who don't have such a great experience with Amazon. It was good to hear your you know how it worked out for you, that it was a lot of convenience to it, and that's what it seems like. And it's a great place. Everybody goes there, right? So it's a
Right.
wonderful place to be.
Yeah, it's been great for me to sell my books. I mean, it's a great service in my opinion that Amazon offers with KDP. Um, you know, going through the first process with my children's book, going through Amazon has been like a walk in the park. So yeah, it helps.
Every every time it gets much easier
Yeah.
than the previous one. I remember how I wrote my first ebook. It was awful. You know, I was
Me too.
struggling, and I had so many expectations about that, how it's supposed to be, how to write it properly, to make that book engage with audience by the content in there. It's unforgettable experience. And
Mhm.
then I started just put away that book and give others to read it. I got so many positive reviews on that, and it made me fly. It got me wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would add one more thing. You know, when I was considering affiliate program and versus my own products, I noticed one thing, that when you create your products, it's more it's easier to connect several books together. If you write the first one, you can put the link to your next book, or make some kind of announcements.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
around your products across the bay.
Yep. Agreed. And I think that's why it's good to also have a if you have a website or a blog, you can really use your different avenues of connecting with people. So you could have a blog, a newsletter, and then your products, and you can, kind of get it's like they all feed into each other. So you can promote, each one to get people to, from your newsletter to your books or to your blog. People that are going to come across your blog that might not have seen your your books you'll have that, you can link to your books in your blog and in your newsletter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think having multiple avenues of connecting with people can also be a way to really boost your traffic.
So
Something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And at this point, how many social networks do you use to promote your books? I know you have Instagram, you have your personal website, and YouTube. Maybe
Hmm.
something else.
Those are the main ones. I do have Facebook as well, but I don't. Over the last several years, I just kind of got away from Facebook. I should get back onto it, but I basically just use Instagram, YouTube, and yeah, my website.
Which one works better? I guess Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah, probably Instagram, but YouTube definitely is right up there as well. So it's hard. I should look at the analytics a little closer, but I think it's probably pretty close actually with my, it's just
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's easier for me to post on Instagram,
Yeah.
versus, there's less editing and things.
Yeah.
So it's easy to quick throw up a picture and just write a quick little thing on it versus, doing a whole video on something. But I do actually want to get back into making more consistent YouTube videos. I do my show every Sunday, which is a live show, so I don't have to edit anything. So I used to really focus on edited videos. but it just takes so much time to edit and, get everything organized and upload it. So the live videos have really been a a great benefit to me with my limited available time right now. So
I love your show on Sunday. And you had a little series of game shows you did too, which I thought was super fun.
yeah, thank you. I want to keep that going. It's hard to get people to want to be on it. So
I'll come on again and redeem myself.
okay, yeah, you're welcome. I would love to get
Then
another
you can
show.
come on. Come on, you want to play?
Yeah, I would love to have both of you on.
He would probably definitely take me out. I think he would win. But um, yeah, it's just, I was going to say something really quick too that I found that bounced off what you were saying about getting started with books. I thought it's complicated, but like when you talked about putting out something free, you can literally do a PDF. If you're someone that just has some information you want to put down, you can really use that as sort of like an ebook or a giveaway. People are
Yeah,
interested if they're interested in what you have to say. You don't have to go through this big like printing process and everything just to get something down on paper. You can put it in a PDF and then it gives you a link to it, which you can then insert in an email to people to get their email address. So I think that's another thing that a great point you brought up is just get it started, and don't put it off, because that's both with our diet and anything we're trying to do. It's got to start somewhere. So it's like we can always put stuff off.
yeah, 100%. I do think, um, just getting started is the biggest step. Just make something, and if you want to change it later, you can. But at least get one thing made, and that can build some momentum and some confidence. And like Zhenya, is it Zhenya? Is that how you say it?
Um, it's exactly pronounced like Zhenya
Zhenya. Okay.
in Russian, but wherever you can,
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you mentioned that. Um, Shoot, what was I gonna say? Um,
At that point, I've mentioned a lot.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think you were
Um,
talking about getting something going or how to start.
yeah. I think I was gonna say you mentioned that like it was
We were
it was
talking about social networks recently.
yep, yep. I think it
Yep.
was basically I think I was basically gonna mention how you said that like your first one was really difficult, and the more once you do one, the next one's easier, and then the next one is easier.
Yeah.
So I have found the exact same thing as well. So even if something seems like insurmountable or just super overwhelming, like publishing a book, because it was for me when I first started. My first one, like I said, it was a mess getting through the publishing process for this. And again, that's also the added difficulty was for me doing it through a local book printer. Um, but with Amazon, it makes it easier. There's other platforms as well. But once you make that first thing, whether it's that one-page PDF or a little ebook that you made, the next time it's going to be easier because you learn different things when you go through the process. And now it has been a little while since I published my last book, but I'm in the works of another one right now that fingers crossed I'll have ready early this coming year.
What's the
um,
topic?
Weight, it's optimizing your weight. So it's
Oh,
basically like
nice.
weight loss, but also, just how to have a healthy, natural body weight, and how to do it super easy. So, and that's another example. There's thousands of weight loss books out there. Like I'm gonna put a weight
Yeah.
loss book out. There's how many weight loss books out there, but I think the way that um,
Yeah.
communicating it, the different concepts that I'm putting into this book, I'm super excited about it. Like I think it might be my best book. And actually, the more I get into writing books, like each one kind of, um, I feel like I get more professional at how I'm writing them. And so I think it's going to come across as a really helpful book, and it's going to hopefully help a lot of people that are struggling. Because even, I coach people on, the raw vegan lifestyle, or even just a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And people that have been doing the lifestyle still have weight struggles.
Hmm.
So, even though there's all these books out there, people haven't connected with the one that has really been able to get them the goals or the results that they want. And so if I publish this book, maybe that's going to be the book that gets them where they need to be. And so, I believe in the book that I'm producing, so hopefully that's going to be something that other people will, want to purchase and get some benefits from. So anyways, just wanted to point out that there's a ton of weight loss books out there, and my book isn't solely on weight loss. It's more on, you know, not just weight loss, but how just to optimize your body weight, whether it's gaining weight or losing weight. So that's the topic, but it goes into a lot of different areas. So that's actually one of my struggles is trying to stay on like the same path throughout the whole book because there's so many things that I'm passionate about, and there's so many different
Yeah.
like, you know, different roads that you can take from all the topics that are, for one topic it can lead to 100 different things, so you just got to stay focused on the main message. But yeah, so that's kind of my current project.
I've been hearing that a lot about like what you said about if there's a lot of things out there in the market, like Graham Cochran, I listen to, who's like just a guy who helps people start business or, be successful in business. He
Yeah.
says that if you search a topic and there's nothing else on it, that it might be a good idea to rethink the topic because it means, like we were talking about. But then there's the other side of it that sometimes there's a whole segment of people that might need that topic, but it doesn't mean you should shut down your idea just because you're going to say it in a completely different way or present it in your own way. And I think that, there's a market of people who are interested in that. That's like a good thing. I mean, like there's 100 different, look how many people are on YouTube, but you've been successful on YouTube because you are who you are, so I think that's important for people to realize. Like we can all think limiting, like who am I, like we all go through that. And then once you put something out and like you said, you help somebody, you get that reassurance. It's like, okay, maybe I am supposed to be following my passion, so I think it's awesome that you like struggled through that first printing process and didn't give up on it. You stuck to it and kept going, and then it got easier. So I think I really commend you for that, and thank you for all the stuff that you've put out for us in bouncing off of that. Um, do you mind just taking us through before we wrap up any of all of your books so that people might know where to find you and everything?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words and the opportunity to be on this on this program with you guys. So yeah, like I mentioned, Vegan Adventures with Barnyard Friends was my first book, published in 2017. I did all the illustrations, I wrote all the stories. So it's like my first little valuable project that I have that I had for sale. And then the next book I had was 21 Day Raw Transformation Program. Um, in my opinion, which is a little biased, but I do think this is one of the better books out there for how to live this lifestyle. If you're interested in a whole food, plant-based, mostly raw or all raw lifestyle, I think this book can help a lot of people. So that's either on Amazon or you can get the ebook on my website. And then the next book, I think, can't remember actually which one was next, but I've got five star revolution, five star digestion, and so this is a smaller book. It's basically the I wanted to put into like a very um, easy to understand way to approach gut health, and so I've got a 10 letter acronym called Flora Power. And so the Flora Power program is in this book, and it basically encapsulates the dietary, the lifestyle, and the environmental factors that really impact gut health. And I wrote this book because literally, I would say 99% of the people that I have coached and worked with have had, even if they've been in this lifestyle for a while, have had some sort of gut or digestive issue that they were trying to overcome. So this is a lot of what I would teach them. And it's a great introduction to gut health. So that's also on Amazon or ebook version on my website. And then 5 Star Salad Revolution is the other paperback book that I have available. This one is, I'm extremely happy. This is probably the most, I don't know, it's between, I don't know, I guess they're all professional, but these two I feel like are like really books that I would find like from a author that I really admire, So I was like, I want to make books that resemble what I would find in like a bookstore, and not just like turn my PDF into an ebook or a book. So I did my best to format it as good as I could and make it look as professional as possible.
I love the
But
5 star. I like that. That's really plays in my mind is like, if something's called 5 star, then that's usually what we give things that are good. So I'm like, I love that.
yeah, and that came from the 5 Star salad concept that that it's in both of these books, but that's what this one is really about, is 5 Star salads and how to make a salad that is satisfying and nourishing and makes you feel like you ate a meal after you ate it. It's not just like gonna leave you wanting to binge and eat a bunch of stuff after the meal. And so yeah, this one is also on Amazon in paperback, and then on my website as an ebook. So, and if you want the ebooks on my website, I've got bundle packages in there. So if you want all the books, you can get a discount on the bundle
Amazing,
item.
amazing.
So yeah,
And to make this knowledge approachable for our viewers, I suggest the following thing. What if we help Matt to sell his ebooks by affiliate program on Amazon? For our viewers, I'll put in the description exact step-by-step guidance how to become an affiliate on Amazon and how every our viewer can make some extra money on selling your products. I think it will be very, very useful for you and for them to just kind of exercise selling skills. What do you think?
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Oh, is it time to wrap up? Tell us.
Yeah, Matt,
Zhenya.
he actually, we got started a little late because of technical difficulties, and he's on his lunch. So I was trying not to take it too far past an hour to respect his time. If you just let us know, Matt. And I told him once we got talking, he may operate with us because we all love this lifestyle so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I could go for hours, but yeah, I should actually wrap up. I gotta get back.
It's been amazing, and I'm so honored to be here because I watched a lot of your videos, Matt, on YouTube, and I'm so amazed how simply your message is. I'm a non-native English speaker, and I really appreciate your pronunciation, your message, how you deliver it. You could be a professional English teacher, you know.
Oh, well, thank you.
It sounds like so perfect.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Every sound, every word, everything.
And you're from,
And
is it
not
Minnesota?
yeah,
Minnesota.
not in terms of pronunciation, but the message itself.
Hmm.
You're a great guy, Matt.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, truly.
I love it. And I can tell you're so passionate. And that's one of the reasons I thought about you once we came, Zhenya, thank you for presenting the concept. Cause I think there's a lot of raw vegans probably sitting on a lot of information, and I
Yeah.
was like, Matt
Yeah.
is awesome. Also, I love that I love your books, and when you came on, I even wanted to feature all of them, on my show before. So I'm like, they're awesome, and you're awesome. The content, like he said, the message you put out, and the authenticity is so great.
Well, thank you. Truly appreciate that. That's my goal. I try to be as authentic as I can, and I hope that it comes across that way.
I was
Thank
like,
you,
well, that
guys.
was an abrupt goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Zhenya
No,
out.
no, no. I'm still here
Thank you. Thank
until
you
the
both.
very end. Yeah.
Thanks for allowing me to collaborate on this with you. And Matt, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm honored by the invitation, and I hope you guys are successful with your program.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've got the ultimate collaborator here. Zhenya is a genius here. So he's
I'm your assistant. Don't forget. It's your show.
Thank you. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. Thank you. And thank you for joining us on the Raw Revenue Guide. It has been amazing. Don't forget, you can take your passion to profit.
How did you like that episode? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to find the link in the description to my Telegram group, where I walk you through the steps of earning extra money as an affiliate on Amazon. Do it.